At the very next moment, the dragon egg began to glow intensely and then cracked open. As the shell broke apart, a newborn baby dragon emerged from within. It looked truly unique. In fact, it looked exactly like Bao Bao. Right at that moment, a status window appeared, displaying information about the dragon. This dragon was known as the Ice Dragon. Although this dragon is only level 1, its stats are incredibly impressive. Strength 106, Agility 216, and Endurance 2,374. It is born with several powerful and dangerous abilities, such as Aura Judgment, Absolute Zero, Storm Prison, Ice Dragon, and King's Bloodline. All of its abilities will be explained in detail in the upcoming chapters. Holding the dragon in his hands, Lupin was overflowing with joy. He couldn't help but think how strangely similar it looked to Bao Bao, almost identical in appearance, and that both of them possessed naturally high spiritual qualities. Moreover, both of them were also proficient in the magic of the dragon language. However, Bao Bao was still focused on the destructive power of explosions, whereas this little dragon was a completely different case. It possessed far greater endurance and could be controlled much more easily. Lufan lifted it a little higher in his arms and began to wonder what name he should give this tiny dragon. At that very moment, a name came to his mind. You were born from the destruction of Shitsutu, so your name will be Winter. Hearing this, the little dragon seemed slightly startled. It was as if it had heard this name before, perhaps even felt it somewhere deep within. Yet, in the very next moment, its expression changed, and a faint smile appeared on its face. Seeing its reaction, Bao Bao became certain that the little dragon truly liked the name. Lufan fed the little creature just like one would feed a small child. He offered it pieces of its own broken eggshell to eat. However, the little dragon refused to eat them. Lufan was surprised. He couldn't understand what the creature actually wanted to eat. He spoke to it, explaining that if it didn't consume the shell, it might face problems in its growth. Refusing it could make it weaker and significantly slow down its development. At that moment, the little dragon flew up and landed on Lufan's shoulder, playfully moving around. It made gestures that seemed to suggest it wanted to feed the shell, to Lufan himself. At first, Lufan was confused by this behavior, but the moment he realized that the creature was actually trying to feed him, he hugged the little dragon, laughed, and showered it with affection. Meanwhile, another dragon, watching all of this, slowly grew bored and restless. It even began to feel a bit jealous, wondering why Lufan was giving so much attention to this new, tiny dragon. Then Lufan picked up the eggshell in his hand and explained, I can't eat this. This is actually a built-in EXP pack designed specifically for dragons. You need it, so you should be the one eating it. At that moment, the little dragon spread its wings and flapped them, yet still made no move to eat the shell. Lufan began to feel slightly frustrated, realizing that feeding this little creature wasn't going to be easy at all. Lufan gazed at the dragon and felt a pang of sadness. He thought to himself, I never expected this ice dragon's appetite to be so meager. It doesn't seem to have the slightest desire to eat. Nevertheless, this troubled him. But then a sudden thought struck him. The purest flesh of the Life Dragon King. If I were to bring it over there, perhaps you could absorb its energy simply by remaining in its proximity. Within that flesh lies a fragment of the Ice Dragon's own power. Surely the Ice Dragon would not turn it down. To be honest, that item, the dragon's eggshell, considered a legendary grade item, was actually a consumable artifact. It protected the offspring of the Ice Dragon King and contained a small fragment of its power. Lufan felt a bit puzzled. Without wasting time, he called out, Dragon King, come here quickly. I need your help. Within moments, the devouring Dragon King appeared. As soon as he arrived, he said, Lufan, you've awakened me again. What is it this time? I assume you must have a very good reason to disturb my rest. Lufan still held the eggshell in his hand. Looking at it, he said, This is the eggshell of the Ice Dragon King. It contains the purest essence of its blood. Although it's not the same as its actual body, it can still be absorbed. The Dragon King didn't fully understand. He frowned slightly and asked, Lufan, what exactly do you mean? Lufan explained further. I want to use this as an offering in exchange for a promise. When our contract ends, you must swear that you will not harm any human or any of my undead dragon companions. Hearing this, a fierce smile spread across the devouring Dragon King's face. Do you really think he replied. That such a small shell is enough in exchange for such a huge demand? Lu Fan, you're asking for far too much while offering me almost nothing in return. Lu Fan looked at him calmly and said, I expected you to agree to my terms sooner or later. The devouring Dragon King laughed. The control over the Ice Dragon clan, that is indeed a rare and extraordinary thing. I know that well, Lu Fan replied, but as for the future, no one can say anything for certain. As their conversation continued, the little dragon glared at the devouring Dragon King. It grew furious, letting out loud, angry roars. The devouring Dragon King sneered. What a tiny creature! Your father may have been a formidable opponent, but this little one isn't even big enough to fill the gap between my teeth. Even if I ate it, it would make the slightest difference. Hearing this, the little dragon growled fiercely at him as if issuing a challenge. Lu Fan glanced at it, smiled faintly, and said, All right. Why are you bullying the child of such a powerful Dragon King? You should just take the eggshell. Don't worry, I'll keep it a secret that the mighty devouring Dragon King accepted a newborn's eggshell as a trade. The dragon-devouring queen took the eggshell into her hand. She thanked him and began examining it carefully. In the very next moment, she crushed the shell in her fist, reducing it to dust. It seemed as if by grinding it down, she had absorbed its power into herself. Lu Fan looked at her and said, Behave yourself. Seeing this, she gave a faint smile and replied, In any case, that shell was of no use to you. By giving it to me, we've secured an important promise. That eggshell hadn't been of much benefit to him anyway. With that said, the dragon-devouring queen opened a portal and prepared to leave. All right, I'm going to rest now, she said. Lu Fan made no attempt to stop her. However, just before disappearing, she turned back and added, I hope you'll call me next time. After all, you've already obtained the seed of life. And remember, time waits for no one. Lu Fan listened carefully to everything she said. He didn't respond immediately, but after she left, he gently stroked his dragon with his fingers and fed it. Only then did he speak. Yes, it's done. Now I need to return to Tianfu Island to secure the seed of life, and I must eliminate the threats of the Blood Moon God and the ancient corpse god once and for all. Thanks for watching.